One of my favorite categories in collectible coins, U.S. coins, is the Franklin half-dollar series. Whether it's uncirculated or proof, the 3/4 of a century old series just has some crazy values. But I was just curious because 2024, last year, how many times did we talk about it? And with 3 shows a week, right? Every week of the year, we had about 55 conversations on the Franklin half-dollar. Well, we're in the middle of 2025 and we've had the conversation 3 times so far. And that's just because, well, you can't find quality, especially at our prices. Let's have some fun with this one. So the Franklin half-dollar was introduced in 1948. It replaced the beautiful Walking Liberty half-dollar. And it lasted until the 1963, which was 16 years. And it ended abruptly because of the, death of President Kennedy and the tribute coin in 1964 celebrating his life, the Kennedy half-dollar, which, by the way, can you believe it? It's been 60 years since that coin has been released. 60 years. So when you go back at the Franklin series, you have 16 years of Philadelphia's, you have 14 years of Denver's, you have 5 years of San Francisco's, and those are the coins that were put into circulation. And then there's that special coin. It's known as the proof. It's only released in proof sets, which is the most limited production product by the U.S. Mint every year. And in the Franklin series, since proof sets were not introduced until 1950 for the American public, the entire proof series is 1950 to 1963. So tonight we're talking about the last 3 years of that beautiful Ben Franklin 90% silver half-dollar. However, the numbers behind these gorgeous coins speak volumes, and then you got to look at the price. Tonight, your choice, $49.95 for a certified NGC 67. Now, there are no 70s, not one in the entire series. The highest is a 69, special coins. Special coins. 68, desired, but my competitors all have them way north of 100, closer to $125, $130 a coin. So then it comes down to affordability index and rarity. Where can you find that sweet spot? And the answer is the 67 grade. You're looking at it. We've talked about this for years now, and it's still true, and the numbers haven't changed that much. So we have P's and D's in circulation these 3 years, and then the proof. In 1961, they made 3 million proof sets. 1962, they made 3.2 million proof sets. And in 1963, the last year of this series, they made almost 3.1, 3,075,000 proof sets. So over 3 million every single year. Now, these were all in the poly pack packaging, which means they were in the envelope and then the coin just wiggled around inside. Today, our proof sets, and since 1968, over 50 years ago, we changed. But in the early 60s, we were still on the old style. The change was to a hard plastic lens to protect the coins, which is why you see modern issue coins in 68, 69, and 70 grade regularly. These old ones, you don't. If you look at these 3 specific coins, the number of coins known in 67, out of the 3 million plus they made every year, and the 40 years NGC has been doing this, and again, we all understand the only way NGC makes money, or any business for that matter, is putting products through their system. Now, they've graded many of these coins, but in 67 or higher, a different story. And it's all free published information. So that way, as it changes, we have updates. We know the trends. We can see what's happening. Are you ready for these numbers? 42,000 and change, 44,000 and change, 53,000 and change. Out of 3 million coins struck. Now, today's standards, right? We look at a modern issue coin, 2024, 2025 this year. And if they made 500,000, 500,000 coins, we would expect to see about a third of them hit high grade, right? Just because of the way they strike the coins today and how they package them to preserve them. So that means 120, 130,000 for a brand new coin. I mean, every proof silver eagle of late is hovering that 100,000 mark. Uncirculated silver eagles are hovering the 300 to 400,000 mark every year. Well, the big silver coin of the 1960s was, well, the $50. We stopped making the silver dollar in 1935. The Eisenhower, when it came out, was 1971. That was a copper-clad coin. The silver Eisenhowers were only made for collectors. So again, the big silver of the day was this coin. And there's only 42, 44, 53,000 each out of 3 million. Now here's the other side. My competition sells the coin in a capsule. All right, a coin in a capsule, which is a beautiful coin. And it's the rarest coin of each of these respective years in the series. Period. And they're at $72 to $79 on these 3 years. We're 5, 6, 7, 8 grades higher. Because remember, 60 is a grade. 8 grades higher, and we're, well, tonight, $49.95, your choice. Now, we did find my competitors with the same coin. But guys, before I get there, guys, can I get a 3-minute clock, please? Lots of 3-bangers going. Lots of people buying one here and one there as well. Thank you all for calling in on this for the value today. Wow. It's one of my favorite series because the value is there. The rarity, I mean, these are rarer than modern silver eagles. They're 3/4 of a century old, and they're more affordable. My competition, the closest price was about 2 months ago. One of our rival networks were out at $99.95 for the exact same 3 coins. Same holder, same grade from NGC. At $49.95, best coin, best grade, and always the best price. Time to be moving on.